welcome back. Let's continue with our conversation with Consul General Hawkins as he speaks about U.S. expectations for the new Nigerian government. The U.S. government has certainly supported Nigeria throughout this democratic process, and by May 29th, which is in a few days, President Goodluck Jonathan will be handing over to President-elect Muhammadu Buhari. How will relations with Nigeria continue to play out, and will there be new aspects of the relations with the new administration?
The one thing I should say from the outset is that the fundamentals of the U.S.-Nigeria relationship, to my mind, are really unchanging. And it doesn't matter whether it's a Jonathan government or a Buhari government. We have that economic relationship, we have those cultural ties, we have millions of Nigerian Americans living in the United States, hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of Americans here in Nigeria. There's a lot going on, irrespective of who's in office in Abuja or who's in office in Washington. And there are a lot of common opportunities and a lot of common challenges. I think a new administration certainly gives us an opportunity to sort of look at the relationship with fresh eyes, and our sense is that the incoming Buhari administration is really interested in the kind of strong relationship that we are, and I expect that will happen. Obviously, one of the things that we'll want to work with them early on is on the security situation and the common threat that we see from Boko Haram and terrorism in this country. That was something that we worked on with the Jonathan administration, but definitely going to be an area of emphasis for us going forward. President-elect Buhari has talked a lot about corruption and rule of law issues, and that's something that's important to us, and I think we'd be interested in helping in any way we can with that. There's a lot of work that we're doing, and I think we'll probably have to do some education of the incoming administration about some of the areas we've collaborated with. And, for example, in the health sector, U.S. assistance to Nigeria is over $500 million a year. It's huge. And I'm guessing there's a lot of people in the new team that don't even know that, so there'll be an education process that goes along. And we do have some really solid structures in place for the two sides to talk, our binational commission and other elements like that. So I expect the Buhari administration and Obama administration will come out of the gate strong. There's going to be a lot of stuff that we're going to want to do together, and I'm really looking forward to watching these next months unfold, because I think it'll be very good for the relationship.
U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry was in Nigeria just a few weeks before the elections, and I remember him saying that any perpetrator of electoral violence will not be allowed admission into the U.S. Does that still stand post-election?
We remain committed to the same values that drove Secretary Kerry's statement when he was here, and we believe strongly in the democratic process, and we don't want to welcome people that disrupt the democratic process into our country, and that's something that we'll consider very carefully going forward.
Ambassador, thank you so much for speaking with us.
Thank you very much.
U.S. President Barack Obama has kept his promise to continue the Young African Leaders Initiative, renamed the Mandela Washington Fellowship. 40 young Nigerians have been handpicked from a competitive 7,000 entries in Nigeria and tens of thousands from across Africa to participate this year. While they bonded for a couple of days last week, the U.S. consulate held a reception for the participants to remind them how precious this opportunity is.
Where is Ibrahim? Ibrahim Aliyu.
These are some of the lucky few handpicked by the American government to participate in fellowship programs in universities across the United States. They have been together a few days and have already bounded some friendship that could possibly last a lifetime, as I found in Choma Aga and Abosede Lewu, both doctors, but following their passion. They're both headed, however, for different institutions.
I need to hone skills. You see, as a business owner, as a business leader, you're a leader, but you're not necessarily a trained leader. So you see, because you need to inspire people, you need to motivate them, you need to make them passionate about what you are passionate about, because you're only as good as your team. So I feel like those skills need to be honed. I'm going to a fantastic university, Dartmouth College, it's an Ivy League university. So I believe that the experience, the practical knowledge I would get, I would infuse into my business. I want to hone my business skill, my entrepreneurial skill. Now these are countries that their industries, their toilets, their schools, they've attained these milestones. It's an opportunity for me to know how do they get there, how do they sustain this business, how do I get people that are interested, like minds. And of course, you go there with the mindset of what you want to do, but you go there and you learn something new that you're going to always bring home, because Mandela Fellowship is about people that want to go out, but they need to come back and make a difference in their place. So I believe that I'm part of the Nigerian dream, so that's why I need to go for this program.
Last year's Mandela Washington Fellow, Adebeju Jayola, whose work of providing healthcare to pregnant mothers in rural communities was recognized by US President Barack Obama last year, speaks about the impact the Mandela Fellowship has made on her and her work.
It was just incredible. Like, it was a deep motivation for everything that you do. You know, and when you do these things, you do it for the love of what you do it for the love of your community and your people. So it's really amazing when you don't even expect anything back in return, and then you get the highest honor that you can even think of. So for me, it's about not only me, but lots of young Nigerians out there, seeing that there's possibility in every dream, you know, and seeing that every dream, no matter how little, is actually conceivable, implementable, and can actually come to reality.
Consul General Jeffrey Hawkins tasks the fellows on the image they should portray while in the United States. The disciplines for fellowship this year are public management, business and entrepreneurship, and civic leadership.
When you're in the States, don't forget that you are diplomats for your continent, for your country. And I think it is sad but true that at least in some of the places that you'll find people that don't have a lot of familiarity with Africa. You'll find people that don't know much about Nigeria, and they'll say, "Oh, Nigeria, is that in the Middle East?" You know, I mean, and I guess what this is, among other things, is a plea for you all to be patient with us, and to patiently understand, to patiently explain and promote understanding of Nigeria, of Africa, in the United States. And I don't think it'll be a surprise to you that there have been some negative narratives out there in the West, and our media is very much attracted to the bad stories. So those are the stories that get told. And one of the objectives of this program is to expose Americans to the good stories and the stories that you all represent. So you really need to represent when you're out there.
The fellows will return after their program, lasting 6 weeks or more, to continue to impact the communities more effectively.
Thanks everyone for watching. Should you want to reach us or comment on any of the issues discussed, please drop us a line on any of our addresses showing on your screen. I am Amarachi Ubani. Happy Democracy Day ahead.